A young mongoose had climbed onto the shoulder of a giant gower. Below, the rest of the pack stayed in the dust, watching. The huge wild bovine was still, but only for the moment. Dark, hard ticks crowded the base of its ear, spread across the neck folds, and continued down the chest and front legs. Soon after sunrise, a pack of banded mongooses spread through the dry forest edge. Each animal searched its own small patch of loose soil, leaves, roots, and broken ground for beetles, termites, and other tiny prey. Banded mongooses often forage together, but each animal keeps what it finds. That means the group gives protection, but every meal still creates competition. The focal juvenile uncovered a small beetle first, but before it could swallow it, a larger adult rushed in and took it. Food was available, but it was scattered. Then the pack reached a disturbed patch near a shallow mud wallow. Huge hoofprints crossed the ground. Broken bark, churned soil, and dried mud showed that a large animal had been here recently. Moments later, broad head. But what stood out even more was the infestation. Dense clusters of hard ticks covered one side of the face, packed the folds around the ear, and continued across the neck, chest, shoulder, and lower belly. Some were small. A few were swollen after feeding. The gower was healthy and alert, but the irritation was obvious. The gower then dropped heavily onto one side and rolled in the dust. Its legs kicked. Its neck twisted against the ground. More tick clusters became visible beneath the chest and along the lower body. The mongooses were already watching. Some stood upright. Others stayed low, ready to retreat if the gower rolled too close. They were not there to help it. They had noticed food falling from its body. When the rolling stopped, the gower remained down for a moment, breathing hard. One dislodged tick moved beside a broken root. A juvenile mongoose saw it first, rushed in, and swallowed it before two adults arrived. Another parasite dropped from a neck fold as the gower's skin twitched. This time, several mongooses raced toward it, and the fastest animal claimed it. For small hunters, the gower had become a moving source of concentrated prey. The giant then rose and walked into the mud wallow. It lowered one side of its head and shoulder into the wet soil, coating the skin in mud. That may cool the skin and reduce irritation for a short time, but it cannot remove ticks hidden deep inside protected folds. The pack followed along the edge of the wallow, searching wet soil and churned debris for insects and fallen parasites. Most stayed on the ground, but the same young mongoose moved closer to the gower itself. It found one exposed tick near the lower front leg, pulled it free, and swallowed it quickly. Higher up, the infestation was much heavier. A swollen tick protruded from a deep fold beneath the ear. The juvenile placed its paws against the gower's leg and began to climb. Its claws caught in coarse hair and wrinkled skin. Its body stayed low against the gower for balance. No other mongoose followed. The gower was tired from rubbing, rolling, and pushing through the mud. For a few seconds, it tolerated the contact. The juvenile reached the shoulder, pulled one small tick free, and then moved higher toward the neck. Below, two adults waited in the dust. If the larger parasite fell, they were ready to steal it. The juvenile braced one paw beside the swollen tick and pulled. The parasite held. It changed angle and pulled again. This time, the tick began to loosen. Then the gower opened its eye wider. Its head lifted sharply. The neck shifted. One ear flicked. The swollen tick came free at exactly the same moment. The tick disappeared into the wet soil. The greatest risk had produced no reward. The gower returned to the broken trunk and rubbed again. This time, the juvenile did not climb. It waited below the rubbing point with the rest of the pack. Loose mud, insects, and several ticks dropped into the dust. One tick landed clear of the gower's feet. The juvenile rushed forward, seized it, and carried it away before an adult could steal it. That smaller reward came from a much safer strategy. By the time the gower finally moved off into the trees, many ticks still remained around the face, ear base, neck, chest, and belly. The mongooses had removed only a tiny fraction of the infestation. This was not rescue, and it was not a true cleaning partnership. The gowers rubbing and rolling exposed food. The mongooses simply exploited the opportunity. For the young mongoose, climbing the giant offered the biggest prize, but waiting below the giant proved far less dangerous. And in the end, that safer choice finally paid off.